Oh shit. Hello, hello. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmie from Emmie Evolving. If this is your first time joining me, thank you for finding me. If this is not your first time, thank you for coming back. So, this is a reading for Pisces, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. Also for your cross watchers. Also for people who don't know why they're on this video because they don't have Pisces anything. You're probably an empath. Stick around. You're gonna receive messages. So, I'm sure at this point, all of us have been experiencing all sorts of different energies, all sorts of different struggles. And it's almost this sense of hang in there because things about to ramp up. Things are about to get very intense. Okay. You need to make sure that whatever is going on right now, you're paying very close attention, fully present, and really allowing yourself to receive the messages that your soul is trying to give you. Okay. Stop sending your soul to spiritual voicemail. That's what I do. Sorry, Emmy's unavailable at this moment. We're forwarding you to our spiritual voicemail. Okay, let me pull some cards. Things are about to get intense. Things are about to really ramp up to the point where you might be like, what the fuck's actually going on? What's actually going on? I don't know. I don't know. What's going on? You tell me. No, don't tell me. Don't tell me. Okay, so one, a two, a three. Gosh, 4, 5. Okay, let's pull some of these cards. Oh. Oh, 1, 2, 3. Flip that over. Let's go for the Cathars again. Really enjoying their morbid messages. Oh my gosh. Storms and resonance. Just a lot going on with people's lives. And the things that happen galactically speaking, I'm not one of those. Okay. First off, I'm not one of those. I'm really not into like galactic stuff. I'm not going to talk about new age things in the way new age people do. But I am gaining a very deep understanding and acceptance of the fact that planetary alignments, galactic things, it does affect you. It affects your behavior, it affects your perception. It's a real thing, as much as I want to believe that it's not actually a real thing. Okay? Actually a real thing. So, 1, 2, 3. And then these cards. All right, so we're pulling from 5 decks, 5 for change. Here we go. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought I was only doing 3. 5. Oh, you know what's funny? So I just got this deck, right? And it is the Beyond Lemuria deck. This is a Lemurian record keeper. I didn't even realize I did that. So I'm assuming these cards have a lot of information coming through. Okay. It's going to be a lot of information. Let me toss my blanket over there. All right. Now I have space. Here we go. Card number 35, conscious connections. You've become disconnected from a certain thing, certain person, whatever it is. You need to make sure that everything you are doing is consciously connected. Okay. What this means is that you can't just have superficial things anymore. Whatever it is you go through with people, it has to be a very deep connection. Now, if you feel like you don't have anyone in your life that you connect with on that level, I almost want to ask you, is that something you're choosing? Are you choosing on some level to isolate yourself from the type of connections that are, you know, deep like that? Because some of us do. Some of us definitely keep ourselves separated from that type of connectivity. It's very uncomfortable. I'm not trying to condemn you. I'm not trying to judge you and condemn you. And I'm needing you to pay attention to what it is you're doing. Are you on some level intentionally choosing to connect with people that you don't even see eye to eye with, that um you don't really have anything in common with, but because of the fact that, oh, I've known them for this long and yada yada yada, um that's why we're not going to walk away from that. And again, this is not an encouragement to do one thing or another. This is encouragement to think about where your behaviors are rooted. Do you surround yourself with people who are oblivious to the things that now matter to you, because you're afraid, you're very very afraid to dive deeper into this subject matter? Are you very very afraid of spiritual topics and developing yourself in that way? Or is this something that you just, I don't know, I don't know. I don't know. It's hard. It's really, really hard to take a really good, solid look at yourself and your behaviors until you're willing to be honest with yourself about, about the things that you need to really look at. Those things are not going to be resolved. They're going to continue to give you problems. And unless that's what you want, problems with yourself, uh, we need to begin resolving them. Okay. We need to begin really, really looking at where these struggles are rooted within ourselves. So, card number 55, unique gifts. You carry within you gifts that you might not even really understand, things that you might be dismissing some of your gifts as like weird things, or reasons for you to feel ashamed. I don't know if you'll believe this, but all of the things that you guys celebrate me for at this point, that the things that you guys really appreciate about me, those are all the things I was very, very ashamed of. 39% at 936. 3993 plus 6 is 9. 3999. But yeah, um, my truthfulness, my ballsiness, all these things that you guys appreciate about me, that I've heard people say, oh my God, they really, really appreciate that. It empowers them. These are all the things that I was super ashamed of for so long that I kept hidden. What about you are you keeping hidden? Because things will continue to ramp up in order to bring those hidden things to the surface. There's going to be a lot of agitation going on to shake it loose and let it rise back up. It's up to you how you're going to perceive that, how you're going to allow that facilitated, or how you're going to fight it and try to continue to block it. You can't do that. You can, but not without a major price to pay. You will be paying a major, major price for fighting your own journey. And it's not someone else that's going to be punishing you. These are things you're going to be choosing for yourself through your lack of willingness to comply with your own soul. Remember, when Emmie fights Emmie, Emmie always loses. It doesn't matter which Emmie wins, which Emmie loses, there will be an Emmie that loses. Okay. Card number 36, listening for truth. Many of us are in a very dark place at this point. Okay. Very, very, very dark place. We don't know what's going on with us. We don't know what's going on with our lives. Everything is changing. My relationships, my connections, the way I see the world, the way I behave, what is going on with me. I'm growing. If you find yourself like, oh my God, yeah, everything's changing, you are growing. You cannot expect yourself to stay in the same place forever. You can't you can't have this level of growth and expect to remain the same person. You just can't. When the mind is stretched beyond its usual normal boundaries, it can never shrink back to the size and dimension that it was. It just can't. If you've ever blown up a balloon, if you've like inflated it and then you release all the air, does that balloon look brand new again? No, it doesn't. It looks all stretched out. It's never going to be the same again. It's been stretched beyond what it could handle while it was new, you know? And it's not to say the balloon popped. It is to say that you're going to forever be different. Once you go through the things that you need to go through to reach higher levels of consciousness, you will forever be different. That's just a given. You will forever be a different person. And that different person can be a very beautiful thing. You can reach higher levels of consciousness, dimensional consciousness, awareness of this consciousness. You can reach um, levels of expanded awareness. You can be more aware of why you cope the way you do. Your coping mechanisms are not just, random things. These exist for a reason. You cope in this way for a reason. Why? What is that reason? So, Michael loves to use me as an example. um, there are certain things that I've lived through in life, and it's caused me to feel unsafe with other people. Okay. Part of the way, instead of addressing the situation that caused me to feel unsafe around other people as a young child, um, instead of addressing that, I went ahead and chose to cope. Okay. Now, as a child, you can't really blame the child because it's like, okay, how would a child know that? That's a child. But as I grew, instead of trying to see where all of this comes from, where is it rooted in, I just chose to accept it as this is just how I am. I don't trust people. I don't. I literally don't. I don't trust people. It takes a very, very, very long time for me to trust people, for me to let you in, for me to share um, bits of myself with you. Just it's a process. It's a very involved, very prolonged process. And after I've reached certain levels of self healing, that gifted me with certain levels of self awareness, where I'm becoming aware. Hey, um, granted that is how I am, but why? Why am I that way? Where I don't. It's hard for me to trust people. It's hard for me to share what's going on. All of this is just so hard. I want to have an easier time. I need to understand where this comes from. And so I explored it. It comes from childhood. It's not that I don't trust people, it's that I don't trust myself to be able to speak up for my own needs with other people. Boom. Ha. Yeah. Yeah. Because at some level, I look back and I see like I was a child, but I never spoke about it. I never actually shared like what it was like to grow up as me. I never actually like allowed myself to process it. Thank you, Wicked Love Media. Ooh, I'm not coping today. It's so heavy around me. If it's heavy around you, put on your waist trainer, put on your workout gloves, do some stretches, and start lifting that bitch. You're being offered an opportunity to really, really amplify that growth. The best way to do it, the best way to experience hypertrophy, muscle growth, is through resistance, through weight. The heavier it is, the higher the potentiality of your growth. I would maximize that. I would. Absolutely. Uh, hold on. I'm sorry. Can I throw them out the window? I mean, you know, for a what? Hold on. All right. Have I ever been able to open up with a stranger? I found it's a lot easier to open up to a stranger than it is to someone that's in your life. Yeah, because you're never going to see them again. They're a stranger, right? So the likelihood of them continuing to be a part of your life long term and to condemn you for the things you share, it's very diminished. I find that a lot of people find it easier to open up to a stranger. I mean, tons of people open up to me. I have no idea why. I do know why. Because it's safe. Because it's safe. There's something within me that they recognize that's a reflection of the pain that they're going through, and I've made it to the other side. And they see that, they feel that, and it's safe. It's safe. And maybe what we're really seeking is safety, you know? Maybe that's what we're seeking. Safety. We're seeking a place that can make us feel whole without paying the price of our soul. You can find that in yourself. It's not just me that can provide that for you. You can find that within yourself. And that's what all these readings are trying to tell you. The readings are not about another person. They're not about, oh, this person's going to come back. They're going to make your life complete. They're going to grow you. They're going to make you so beautiful and so strong. No, they're not. They're not. We're trying to, it's the equivalent of saying, you can keep eating the junk food. You're diabetic. Keep eating the junk food. Okay. Don't worry about that. Don't worry because you're here for that person. That person is going to heal your diabetes. Yeah. They're gonna fix you. You're diabetic because that person wasn't in your life. And once you find them, you won't be diabetic anymore. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I mean, to me, that's just utter fuckery. Trying to get me to believe that someone outside of me is going to heal me. No, I don't fucking think so. The only way someone outside of me is going to heal me is if this was something that our souls already pre planned and I am willing to receive it. I mean, how many people have tried to give me money and I refused it? Money is energy. Money is currency. Currency is energy. You give me money, I refuse it. How did that help me? As long as you refuse, you're not receiving jack squat. Jack? While he squats, you're not receiving none of that. It's just this concept of disempowerment in order to empower needs to stop. It is not even an intelligent exchange. It's not. It's just I can't even. I can't. It's stupidity to me. I'm not sorry. That's my personal stance. It's stupidity to me. It is full on, flat out stupidity when people are trying to force me to engage in a debate, which is an adult argument about, no, I'm more right. No, you're more right. No, I'm more right. No, I'm more right. No, I don't really give a shit if you're right. Maybe you're right about your life, but you're not right about mine. Hmm. Yeah. I'm allowed to have the opinions that I have for myself and to share those opinions and allow you to decide what you're going to do with those opinions. So now we have to really, really listen for this truth. This truth is trying to tell us something. Card number 11, Aether, the seamless unspeakable. These truths don't need to be spoken. Okay. These truths are things that already exist within you. All they need is acknowledgement from you. A lot of the things that psychology teaches us about ourselves, about other people, these things that we are kind of strong armed into believing, like, if I have this type of characteristic, then I'm that. Um, Best example, narcissism. If I put my needs first, now I can be called a narcissist. Um, we all have narcissistic tendencies. Huge difference between narcissistic tendency and clinical narcissism. Many of us don't qualify for the clinical diagnosis of that. So stop. Plain and simple. Stop. Stop. Now, a lot of us have also taken this process that we are living through, the process of what do you call it? um, ascension, and we've tried to find pathology in it. I'm depressed. Oh, I'm this, I'm that. Oh, how about you're just going through the natural, normal cycles of your soul? The recognition that you have been unknowingly participating, willingly participating in a disrespect of your soul and your sovereignty that's causing you to feel some kind of way. That's a normal, natural, healthy thing. When someone does something hurtful to you, it hurts because it's hurtful. That's a normal, natural response. When we hurt our own selves and then we feel hurt, that's a normal, natural response. There's no pathology in that. There's no pathology in that. But we try and look for pathology. Pathology is the study of disease. Are you diseased? What if disease originates in your belief of that disease? What if disease originates in your active participation in things that cause you to feel certain emotions that you then don't process and store away in certain areas of your body? And that disharmonic energy eventually permeates through to the density of flesh, then affecting cellular expression. What if that's disease? Fuck you, Philip. You're still not wanted here. Sorry, had to address my stalker. Okay, card number 18, spirals of manifestation. We go ahead and manifest all sorts of stuff. What kind of stuff? You can manifest negativity just as easily as you can manifest positivity. What are you manifesting? Are you manifesting the negative simply because you don't know you can manifest the negative? Or is this a way for you to justify your punishment of self? Because a lot of us do this where we punish ourselves by seeking out the very connections and circumstance that will make us feel punished. Why is that? Why is that? I recognize within me for a period, not anymore, but for a period, I was actively seeking out the connections that would lead to my hurt. And I wasn't doing it like knowingly. This was something that I needed to recognize I was doing in order to halt it. And once I recognized that, it's like, damn, why do I keep punishing myself like that? You know, why? Why is that? Um, I work at a women's recovery home and my coworkers wonder why these traffic ladies are down and negative. I, okay. Uh um wow. Wow. That just blows my mind. And that's what has me stuck. I can't make it make sense. I can't make it make sense. Card number 27, furred and feathered friends. Um I don't know. I don't know. My brain feels stuck. I just I can't make sense of it, and I'm not accustomed to not being able to make sense of things, and my brain can't move forward from that. Like 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 I should just be grateful that I'm no longer in a position of being trafficked. Um, I think that's what's wrong with the world right now. I think that's what's wrong with the world is that there's too much of this thing going on where you should just be grateful. Oh, just be thankful that you're not any. Oh, just be no, but you've already suffered that trauma going away because the physical representation, the physical delivery of that trauma has been taken away. It's in the brain already. The worst type of abuse is like sexual or physical abuse, not physical, emotional and mental abuse. That never goes away. It never goes away. It's not a recovery center. It's not. That's not a recovery center. And that's a halfway house. You're halfway to the point where you can find someone who will help you to recover the parts of you that were taken away. That's just. And it's not just in your center that this type of logic, this is widespread. Are you stateside? Are you in the US? Are you in the US? Because that's a very, very common US belief. What's that? You see homeless people, oh, because they're lazy, they're drug addicts, they're mentally unstable. That's why they're homeless. No, not always. Nope. Sometimes it takes one messed up situation because almost everyone is living paycheck to paycheck. And people don't understand these types of things until they experience it themselves. And I mean, I'm going to be really honest. This has really got me so fucking triggered because of the fact that it's like, it brings up this part of me that I have not yet fully been able to address, where I feel some part of me feels, an unhealed part of me feels. I hope that shit fucking happens to you. I hope that shit happens to you and you meet someone that's just like you. I mean, I hope you heal from it eventually, but I want you to fucking experience that to that degree and have that kind of continued undignified existence from the very people who are existing, being paid to assist you. I hope that fucking happens to you. But do I? Not really. Because I recognize that does come from a part of me that's unhealed, a part of me that experienced so much trauma already. So, what does it do for anyone if you get to experience that trauma too? I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. I don't have the answer to that, like at all. I'm still just struggling to find and heal the parts of me that still feel that way. I mean, the fact that I still feel that way tells me there are still so many parts of me that need healing, that need to be allowed to rise up in dimensional level of consciousness and existence where I don't have to feel that way anymore. I don't. They call it recovery because they treat Addiction and mental health. Addiction and mental health are they're a direct result of that type of treatment. This lack of dignity, lack of connectivity, lack of someone actually caring for you. Because really, who wants to be an addict? Who makes it their goal to be an addict? I don't know anybody. Every single addict that I've helped, um, there's been this disconnect, this underlying sense of shame that they have totally just, they've internalized it. And because of that, they can't allow themselves to connect with anyone. Not in that way, because if they connect at that depth, then the other person will know this ugly thing, this ugly secret. And I think a lot of the problem with addiction continuing within society is the fact that it's so stigmatized. Just the word addict, someone calls you that, oh my fucking God, what the hell did you call me? Yeah. Oh, wow. I work at recovery services and my coworkers are so lost, like they have no empathy. It's like they're not working in the right place. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the same goes for quite a few individuals in the health industry. In order to be, a stable doctor, you have to see them as just a case file. I'll share this with you guys. I don't know if maybe I shouldn't. Um, I remember when I was a lot younger, my mom was sharing this with me. Um, she was a NICU nurse, charge nurse. And the NICU is where the sickest of the sickest newborns go. She takes care of the babies that are at high risk of dying. And she was really well known in her department. So, she excels at everything she does, and she excelled at her job. And basically one day, one of the coworkers, one of like, the alarm was going off, the baby was struggling, and baby was just born, and they couldn't get the baby to perk up. And I think it was a case of the baby had flatlined for maybe a minute already before they ran and got her, and they brought her in, and she did whatever she did. By 3 minutes, um, she got the baby to come back. She got in trouble for that. This baby had been dead for about 3 minutes. She got the baby to come back to life. And instead of celebrating that, the doctor pulled her aside and scolded her and told her, how dare you? That baby was dead. How dare you bring it back? Now we got to deal with whatever the hell you brought back. What? Yeah. She came home from work fucking pissed off. And I was like, oh my God, what the fuck happened at work? And she was like, oh, these stupid doctors, why did they come get me then? And I was like, what happened? The baby was dead. They told me to come and help. And so I helped. And then the baby was alive. And then I got in trouble. And I was like, for what? No, you brought the baby back. Oh, because the baby's been dead for 3 minutes. And now we don't know if the baby has brain damage. Like, but the baby's alive. They don't care. Now it's a liability. It's my ass. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, that's the world we live in. In order to be a really good doctor in the eyes of the medical industry, you have to separate the humanity from the person. You are a number. You are a case study. I'm going to practice the information that I've learned. Hopefully, it turns out good. If it doesn't, yeah, I've been told that I care too much. Yeah. That's why I actually opted to no longer continue with trying to get into the medical program. I was told by several people who are dear to me, like, you care too much to be a doctor. Like, you need to be a nurse or something, because a doctor just comes in for a few minutes, gives a nurse orders, and then they leave. Like, you're too involved. You can't be a doctor. That would just kill your spirit. I can't be a nurse either, because I'm not gonna fucking listen to the doctor. Fuck you, take my license. I'm saving this baby. It's crazy. It's crazy, the world that we live in. This is what we are being tasked to change. It's very, very deeply rooted at this point. Very, very, very deeply rooted. It's normal. It's, yeah, the world needs to change. And we need to be that change that we're waiting for. The only thing that you're waiting for is for you to give yourself permission to be that change. Caring is absolutely a problem in certain industries. Absolutely, yes. hmm Yep. Yep, Naeem, caring is an absolute issue. When I had to abruptly leave California, and my brother was in the hospital still, um, the nurses and the social workers, you cannot release someone without a safe care plan. And because we weren't able to give them information regarding, long-term housing for him, we weren't able to give them information of the identity of a caretaker. They kept him in the hospital. He didn't have a medical need to be in the hospital at that point, but they needed to secure his aftercare. He cannot take care of himself. Like, you can't give yourself injections and stuff with only one hand. And so they refused to let him leave. And I remember his doctor, I could choke this motherfucker, I swear to God, but we're not going to go there. His doctor told the nurse, and the nurse told me, yeah, his doctor's so upset, but we had to tell him, look, we cannot release him. Not in this situation. We cannot release him. And the doctor was livid. Like, he needs to be released. I'm signing off his paperwork so he can be pushed out, basically pushed out. And the nurse was like, no, we can't release him. Nope. It's like, we live in a world where Pisceans and empaths, we are so shit on all the fucking time. All the fucking time. Why? We are seen as weak because we feel. And that's what the world actually needs. The world needs more people who can feel deeply, feel so deeply that it just cannot sit right with your soul for you to not do anything. I see all of these people who complain so much and talk so much shit about individuals who are receiving state aid, financial, like money aid, food aid, health aid, receiving aid, and like, oh, they're just lazy and this and that. Do you think you could just, like, hey, I want some of that, give it to me? Are you fucking, like, you have to provide legal documentation to prove you qualify for aid? That's not free money. I'm sorry, last time I checked, I've been being taxed left and fucking right the moment I began working. You telling me that's free money? That's not free money. That's repayment of the shit you took from me without my permission. You just took it and I had to comply. That's not free money. Are you kidding me? So we have all these people who are so pissed off, like, our government should stop giving aid and this and that. Okay, if you're going to be that vocal about feeding children and healthcare, mental health care, I'm going to need you to keep that same energy regarding us providing aid to nations that fucking bomb their neighbors. Why are we giving aid to that nation when they routinely, for years upon years, have been systematically killing off Palestinians? I'm just fucking saying. Oh, but that's over there. Middle East does this crazy shit. They do crazy shit over there. Are you fucking kidding me? How about this? Middle East can't do crazy shit over there if we would stop giving them an allowance to do the crazy shit over there. Yeah, you're mute on that. Crickets. Crickets. Cricket. Cricket. That's all you hear when people, you got so much to say about providing aid for the people that actually need aid. And granted, there are those who absolutely work the system. Um, Not promoting that, definitely not for that. But hasn't the system been working us? If you're really mad, change the fucking system. Change the system. And that's what Pisceans and empaths are here to do at this point. We are here to stand, to exist with emotion. Be passionate, be happy, be sad, be angry. Whatever the fuck you feel it all the way through. And don't hide it away from people. The only way we can shift the direction of the world's trajectory is to normalize the very things that will change it. Hiding yourself away, being ashamed of the fact that you feel, does not change the world. They getting 50K raises every year, motherfuckers. I got a very real solution for that shit. You want to be part of government, you will only be paid minimum wage. You get audited twice a year. You have to take psychological evaluations. And every single time you are going to lobby for legislation, it will directly affect your family first. For an entire year, this will only be applied to your family first with third party independent auditors. Fuck that shit. I don't mind people taking my money. I don't. I don't mind it as long as it's going to help heal the people. Fuck that shit. Why don't we have legislation about that? Why don't we have conversations about that? Oh, she's just being this really intense, crazy ass Pisces. Well, maybe that's what the world fucking needs. A really intense, crazy ass fucking Pisces with a Capricorn moon. He's not afraid to say shit. I'm not afraid to talk my fucking truth. That's what I need from this government. That's what I fucking need. I'll keep paying into that system. I will. I'll keep paying into that system. Implement that shit first and let me be able to decide where my money is going to go. I want 100% of my taxes that I pay to go to battered women's shelters, to go to feed children, to advocate for their health care, mental health care, schooling. I want it all to go to there. How about that? How about that? Y'all want to talk about military? We are not trying to spread democracy. We are invading foreign nations. We are invading foreign nations, actively working on destabilizing their governments in order for us to invade under the guise of democracy. It's true. It's true. How many people were sent abroad during Desert Storm because of 9/11? Now, before any proper investigation could take place, why was all of that scrap metal sent abroad to China for recycling? If this was really terroristic acts, why did some of the very important companies, people who run those companies that were in those buildings, why did they get new insurance policies put into place? Why is that? And why was it reported that Building 7 fell while it was standing behind the reporter? Didn't know. They didn't realize the building was still standing. I think it was about 30, 40 minutes before that building fell. Was never hit by any planes. And why, when you look at that footage of the building collapsing into its own footprint, that's not fucking normal for a building to do. It doesn't just collapse in its own footprint. That has to be a controlled demolition. meaning floor after floor after floor after floor. Boom, 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 until finally the weight of that just collapses everything else right underneath it. That is a controlled demolition. Did any of us fucking question this shit? No, instead, we sent all of our sons and brothers and uncles abroad to invade a fucking nation that really, what the fuck did they do? What did they do? They were stupid enough to believe the US government. That's what they did. And then what else did we do? Aside from sending our brothers and sisters, aunts and uncles abroad for Desert Storm, we went ahead and decided to make travel into what? Like a prison type state? Yeah. Where you have to be radiated before you're allowed to pass through. I mean, I don't know about y'all, but every single time I fly, I get an enhanced pat down. I don't know if they just like touching me or whatever. I'm at a point where it's like, you need to start giving me a tip after this. Like, you gonna touch me again? Where are you gonna touch me now? Yeah, like really? I'm hiding something in my hair? That's the fucking dumbest shit ever. I don't even have that much hair. You think I'm hiding something in my hair? That's where it set off. Oh, I'm hiding something in my wrist. Like you want to stick your fingers all up in there? Go ahead. Go ahead. That's what we've allowed. We've allowed the abuse of our sovereignty from every single fucking level, every single fucking level, every single fucking level. And then the world has reacted with nothing. Nothing. And then we want to take away the very ability of the individual to defend themselves, to become super, 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 super dependent on the very system that's waiting for you to become dependent so that they can take advantage of you more. Y'all think there's going to be some magical reset? Tell me what it is. What is this reset? I want specific details on this reset. Because people are waiting for a reset and it's like, okay, so your group says this, your group says that. Your group, what? Half the people will be left on Earth? What the fuck are you talking about? You're getting on a spaceship? Yeah, no. The best way to seed a lie is by covering it in half the truth. That's all you got to do. Because there's enough truth in that lie to cause division, arguing. And instead of focusing on resolving it, you're busy fighting about it. Exactly. Hegelian dialectic is what's consistently used. Create a problem, wait for the people to beg for a solution and offer the solution that you were going to implement anyways. They wanted that anyways. We can't have a reset if we have the same shit and characters playing their roles. They're the ones initiating a reset. They're the ones initiating a reset. And those same characters, they're just the face of it. They're not actually it. Because the best way to control a population is to not let them think they're being controlled. It's to get them to think that they have a say, that they have the power, which we don't, not right now, and not with this system. It wasn't designed to allow us to exert power. And then to get them to argue with each other about who's more right. Like, oh, my politician is going to save the world, is going to save our nation. The same one that is systematically dismantling the Constitution? That one? That one? I'm pretty sure he won't. I'm pretty sure he won't. Ask him what he had for breakfast today. I don't know that he would remember that. Am I a supporter of the other one? Not really. Not really. I kind of like him more just because he was kind of honest about his assholery. You know what I mean? He was just so full of himself that he was just like, fuck that. This is it, bruh. This is it. You can't do shit. Oh, yeah. I don't think any of them are for us, though. I think what we really need to focus on is allowing ourselves to feel the direction that we're headed and allowing ourselves to feel where we want to go versus where we're being pushed into. We are not lemmings. We can't be encouraged to jump off the cliff right along with everyone else. Because if that's what's happening, you best believe I'm gonna be on the sideline like, what the fuck are y'all doing? Why are you guys jumping off the cliff? I'm not fucking jumping off the fuck that shit. I'm out. I'm out. I know what I can do and what I can't do. And if all of y'all are jumping off the well, fuck that. I'm out. I'm just gonna go back to the ranch, just go take a nap, have a snack. I can't stop people from deciding things for themselves. I just can't. Neither can you. So, what you need to do now is just fully exist in your truth. Allow yourself to be very, very honest with where hidden toxicity is. So, if all your friends jumped off a cliff, then they won't be friends of mine anymore because they're gone. Hmm. They're gone. I truly have this belief. Take, for example, someone who is suicidal. Um, every time you call me and let me know, I will try and support you. I will sit there with you. We don't even have to talk. Just my physical presence to let you know you're not alone. But I have a very real knowing. If you really want to go, I can't stop you. You will find a way. You will find an opportunity. I can't always be there. I can't always be awake. You're not my prisoner. So I'll just love you for as long as you're here. And I'll love you in a way where you are free to go when you choose. I would prefer you not, because that will really hurt me. But I have to love you as you are. And if you refuse to allow me to help, I'm going to have to accept that. And people be like, damn, you cutthroat. No, I'm real. I'm very real. I can't stop you. I can't take on ownership of your refusal to heal yourself. I'm too sensitive for that. So I have to distance myself while still being present. It's just one of those things like, what are we allowing? Are we allowing ourselves to take ownership of things that we don't really own? Do we own the problems of the world? You're welcome, Aaron. We don't. It's been placed on our laps without our permission. Generation after generation is asked to hold this big ass load with a generation before not addressing anything. So it just continues to grow and grow and grow, further compact, further impact all of this. And what are we going to do about it now? I'm kind of at a point in my journey where it's like, I understand, I'm just one little person. I'm just one little person. I can't fix the world's problems just like that. Um, so at this point, I think the only thing I can do is address whatever's in my hand. So if you want to put that load from generations past in my hand, please do. Because I'm going to chuck that bitch as far as I fucking can. I'm going to chuck it. And once it lands, I'm going to run to it and play soccer with it because I'm not holding shit. And you can't fucking make me. You can't make me. You want to punish me? Go ahead. I'm still not fucking holding it. You want to beat me? Go ahead. I'm still not fucking holding it. You can't make me do shit. Whatever I decide is what I'm going to decide. So if I want to play soccer with that fucking big ass load, I'm going to fucking play soccer with it. If I want to use it for tetherball, I'm going to try tie a string to it, tie it to a pole, and I'm going to play tetherball with that bitch. But I'm not going to fucking hold it just because you told me to. Just because you're threatening me. Go ahead, threaten me. You want to beat me? Go ahead. I'm still not going to hold it. Oh, you're going to beat me and then duct tape my hands to the ball? I'm still not holding it. You had to duct tape it. Yeah, no, I have that mindset. Fuck you. I'm not going to do shit just because you're telling me to. Oh, you want to gather up people to pick on me? I don't give a shit. I really don't. I give plenty of fucks, but not about that. Because I'm powerful enough to decide what I'm going to give a fuck about. I don't give a fuck about that shit. Nope. Take your ball. I want a refund. Oh, you're a crazy Pisces. Fuck yes. You're not going to make me comply just because what? You want me to feel bad for something I didn't do? Okay, well, tell yourself I feel bad, but I don't. I'm definitely capped for sure too. For sure. It's time for us to allow ourselves to stop participating in the very thing that continues to enslave us. It's time for us to really, really feel deeply, feel very, very deeply all of these things that you've been not letting yourself feel. Because all of this is so important for your growth. What are you not allowing yourself to see from your childhood? And this is not this thing of like, oh, poor you, you're who you are because your childhood. I mean, for real, because my childhood, well, I shouldn't be a nice person. I shouldn't be so giving and open and, you know, able to overlook when people screw me over and do horrible things to me. I shouldn't be able to overlook that, but I do. Because my childhood helped to form me. It helped. I'm not a clone of my childhood. I'm not just a larger version of me as a child. I've grown. I've allowed myself to look and see clearly what is laid before me. Granted, sometimes I see things in a distorted way and it takes me a little bit longer to understand that I'm seeing it in a distorted way. But eventually, I see clearly. I hold myself accountable for what I participate in. I hold myself accountable for what I give other people permission to do to me. There's no more need for forgiveness or holding grudges or any of that. There's a need for me to recognize, okay, you were the delivery person. This is not about you. What lesson is this that you were used to deliver into my life? All right, I got it. I got it. I'll learn from it. Hopefully, I don't repeat it again. We'll see, though. We'll see. But I got you. So I understand what you're telling me. I understand now the ways in which that was helping me to see I was still open to receiving toxicity in that way. I was still open to participating in certain types of toxicity. Not no more. Not no more. And one of the things that I'm learning right now is about being proactive. That sometimes being offensive is much more appropriate than being defensive, where you're waiting for people to do things to you. Now, I'm going to cultivate shit. I'm going to cultivate it. I'm in control of my life. I'm in control of how I see my life and the way that perception affects my behaviors, how I react or respond to my life. I can't control you. I can only control me. And regardless of what you do, I still have the power to decide for myself how I will receive that. Card number 21, it's time to lead. Card number 34, Ubuntu, compassion for others. Are you allowing this concept of compassion for others to blind your good eye? Because we've already covered the other eye. Is that what's going on? We are blinding ourselves from the truth. Because if that's the case, stop it. Card number 31, solitude, alone but not lonely. It's time for you to reconnect with your higher self. It's time for you to allow these things to cultivate a level of growth that is necessary for you to reach the next level of existence. Card number 25, first house, the body. It's time for you to respect your needs in this human body. Okay? No more, oh, it's not spiritual of me to blah, 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 blah. Nope. You want to lay hands on this physical body? My soul is a warrior soul. I may be really small in life, but Pretty sure I'm gonna fuck shit up. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And you'll probably think I'm crazy as I'm fucking shit up because there's a part of my soul that actually kind of likes that kind of chaos. Um, it stays, boxed up for the most part. But when it has a valid reason to emerge, um, it really goes above and beyond. It really, really does. Neutralizes the situation, a little bit heavy handed, but it serves its function. Your body is your temple. Do not allow anyone or anything to desecrate your temple. And whatever level of feeling you need to reach, get there. Raise yourself up, pick yourself up, and put yourself there. There's no rule that says you can't. So, card number 42, South Node, Life's Debts. I've said this so many times. This is the life where all of us are being given the opportunity to level out that karmic load, to neutralize it through interactions, through the finishing of these lessons. This is the life we have the ability to change things. What are you going to do with it? Because just because you have the ability, you're being given the green light to do this, does not mean you're really going to do it. Many of us refuse to. Many of us are still stuck in that program of like, oh, but they hurt me. Oh, but I can't do that. Oh, but I need someone. Oh, but I can't, blah, blah, blah. No. If you need to hear validation of that bullshit, you're not going to get it on this channel. You're just not. You're not going to get it on this channel. I'm all riled the fuck up at this point. I don't have it in me to be soft and cuddly and try and soothe the fears that are bringing your attention to the very parts of you that need your attention. That's why you have fear. It brings your attention to the very things that need your attention. It's tied to your field of awareness. You're also disruptive. So card number 49, Jupiter return, benefit. Allow yourself to get to a place where you have no problem letting yourself experience the benefits of your life lessons. It's this concept of, it's okay for me to struggle as long as other people benefit. Like, it's okay for me to work really, 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 really hard, 7 days a fucking week. Say like 12, 16 hours a day. As long as I don't benefit from that, as long as I don't get paid for that, that's spiritual. No, that's slavery. That's slavery. I'm not willing to participate in that. No, I'm not going to feel ashamed that I'm not willing to participate in archaic mindsets. Because it's that archaic mindset that told us it was okay to own another human being. That's not okay. You're being encouraged to be owned by other people. No, I refuse. You want to force me into submission over that? I just won't work. It's perfectly fine with me. I won't work. You want me to put myself out there like that, nonstop, consistently exposed to shit that could really fuck me up for free? No. No. Oh, but my friend will only do it for $20. Well, then go to your friend. Go to your friend. I don't care. Go to your friend. It's only $20. But my prices are set based on the level of risk I personally take on your behalf. So there. Go to your $20 friend. They're taking a $20 risk. Okay? That's okay with me. Go over there because they can go ahead and say whatever it is you want to hear. Go over there. I have no problem with that, but you're not allowed back in. Not after you tried to convince me to return to a place where I was willing to harm myself. And you guys have to begin seeing these types of conversations that you have with other people for what they are. There will always be people in your life who will try and talk you into a place where you are willing to agree to harm yourself. Well, how's that harming you, Emmie? Well, um, I'm exposing myself to demonic shit. I'm handling the demonic shit for you. There's a real potential for me to be harmed there. Well, but what about, regular energy work? Well, I'm exposing myself to your distorted code. I'm an empath. That enters my field. That has a very high likelihood of entering my field. I can take that in and have your disease. I'm at risk. And people will think that, it's not that big a deal. Well, then you do it for yourself. It's it's not a big deal. Do it for yourself. Remember, when someone can't do something for themselves, and now they're trying to manipulate you into thinking you are the bad person because you refuse to do for me what I cannot do for myself, what I refuse to do for myself. Um, I mean, are y'all okay with that? Are you okay with that? Because if you are, then, go ahead, keep on. That's your choice. But now I'm not willing to agree to that. I'm not. I'm not willing to agree to that. Nope. And really, it comes down to this knowing of whether you agree or not, this person is who they are. Okay. They already think these things about you. And just because you give in does not mean that they're going to change their mind. I learned this the hard way over several years. They will still be who they are. The moment you no longer serve a purpose in their attempt to get more for themselves, they're going to go ahead and do what you were afraid they were going to do. And that's why you were doing that stuff for them in the first place. They're going to go ahead and do it. And you can't stop them. Only thing you can do is remove their access to you before they get to that point. That's the only thing you can do. And then they'll shame you into deciding that for yourself. They will shame you, guilt you into thinking you are a bad person, you're being immature, you're blah, 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 because you're removing access. I'm a bad person because I've identified you as toxic as fuck and now I've removed access. I didn't say you're a bad person. You're just fucking toxic. I don't need that. Like you can do that shit with other people. Like there's plenty of people that will feed into that. I'm not there anymore. And although you're trying to offer me some sort of Uber ride back to that place of toxicity, no, thank you. No, thank you. And it's just one of those things. We gotta do what's right for us regardless of what other people will say, because there will always be other people who are not where you're at with your level of understanding of yourself, and they don't need to be. They don't need to be. You don't need their agreement. You don't need them cheerleading you on from the sideline. You don't need that. So, card number 49, Jupiter return benefits. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. You've been preparing for this your entire life. You have been preparing for whatever this is for your entire life. That's like you're in the final semester of your college career. You've worked hard for that BS degree. And in that final semester, your significant other tells you, I feel like you're just being selfish. Like you haven't been home. It's just selfishness on your part. I need you at home. Okay, let's just drop out of school. Let's do that. Let's drop out of school. Let's go ahead and, oh, you're such a bad person. You're a bad person. You have to stay home. Uh-uh. Uh-uh. You need to finish what you started. One semester left of this entire priming period to get you to the point where you walk across that stage to graduate college with a BS degree. And you're going to let other people convince you not to. And we do this regularly. Empaths and Pisceans do this so often. We do this so regularly that it's just commonplace for us. It's like, oh shit, I am doing that. Yeah, you are. Yes, you are. Yes. Doesn't make you bad or stupid. Not at all. It just means you need to now pay attention. You are at risk of losing the very things you have been working so hard for. Do not cave. Do not give in. Stay standing. You've got this. You have totally got this. Okay. So that is the message for today's reading. I got to get going. I got to chill myself out. I need more CBD. Ah. I dispense it under my tongue and then I let it sit for a few seconds. There's still some under my tongue right now. That part of your mouth is very thin membranes. You can dispense medication sublingually. That's what it's called, sublingual dosing. And it enters your bloodstream very quickly. Chill. Not sedated. Chill. I recognize I have a reason that I feel these things, that I think this way, feel this way. It's okay for me to give myself time to process and be intense and and then at some point I have to choose to return back to my place of peace. And if I can't do that for myself consciously, then I will do it through natural supplementation. I need to be in a place of peace within myself. I need to allow myself to experience organic feelings towards certain things. I don't need to push things down anymore. But if I'm going to serve as a template for you guys to witness that it's okay for you to feel, to be intense, to express, I also need to serve as a template to remind you when you're done doing that, come back to center. Release that. Don't hold on to it. Don't own that. Whatever part of that is yours, it's already with you. You don't have to maintain that level of intensity the whole day over a conversation that occurred over a span of several minutes. You don't have to. You can bring yourself back to center in a place of peace and still recognize all of these things that you've just talked about. It's okay. It's not fake. It's not fake to be intense and then come back to peace. You're not playing a role. You're honoring both your needs, your need to express in a passionate way and your need to be at peace. You guys notice a difference in my energy? I swear to God, this shit is the bomb. Do you feel the difference? Hmm. Those were things that needed to be said. Those were feelings and mental processes that I needed to share. And that's all it is. I find myself entering this place now that I've chilled the fuck out. I find myself entering this place of, oh my God, I said too much. I said too much. I shouldn't have said all that. I should take this video down. No, leave it up. Leave it up. Own it. Share that you're experiencing this questioning of, oh my God, did I share too much again? Holy shit. No, you shared just enough. Whatever it was you shared, it was just enough for whoever needed to hear it. And you don't get to take away their ability to return back to the video and get back to this place once again as they're watching it where they feel supported, they feel validated because they feel the same way too. It's okay. It's okay to witness me being a human being and having a very divine adverse reaction to the human experience that we are all living through. We're all living through a human experience, all of us. There's nothing wrong with your experience. You have been calibrated to receive certain types of experiences in this life. The purpose or goal of life is not to have a completely drama free, super quiet, super peaceful life. That's what you call energetically and emotionally sterile. No, no, I don't agree to sterilization. No, 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 I don't. So I allow myself to feel. I allow myself to take ownership of those feelings. I allow myself to be witnessed. And then I allow myself to feel whatever I feel afterwards. Sometimes it's a sense of empowerment. Sometimes it's a sense of like, did I say too much? Oh my God, I shouldn't have said that. No. As someone who's kept quiet for more than half of their life, like most of my life, I've kept very, very quiet. All of my feelings, opinions, and perception. Um, Michael keeps reminding me we've let that fear go. Sometimes it will try and revisit, and you can say, "Hello, old friend. I gotta go. I know I gotta go. I'm sorry, old friend. I can't hang out with you today, but thank you for stopping by." Yeah, it's okay for me to still question. It's okay for you to question because in that questioning, you're gifted an opportunity to once again remember how far you've already come and how powerful you are because you recognize I don't have to go back there. I don't. I don't have to come back. I don't. I can keep going forward. And in instances where I do come back, that's okay. It's just a visit. I don't live there anymore. I can go back to my real home within myself where I've grown and I see things differently. Again, you are a quantum energy. You are not on a linear journey. Sometimes it seems like you're regressing, but in reality, you're being gifted an opportunity to see the same type of circumstance from a much higher vantage point. It's up to you what you do with it, though. It is. It's up to you what you do with it. Today, I got to finish up some really important work. Really important work. I better start writing stuff. Um, if you guys could please give this video a thumbs up. If you haven't already subscribed, please do subscribe. Turn on that notification bell. Join me when I'm live. Today is a day where old things will come back up. It is. It's definitely a day where old things will come back up and allow yourself to process in whatever way you're supposed to process. Yeah. And if you choose to get some CBD from that company, put in the code Emmie Evolving. They give you 15% off. And whatever commissions come from that, it goes straight to my brother's, the account that I hold for him to pay for all his like medical care and all of that. So I love you guys. I do. I really, really appreciate the fact that you can hold such a sacred space where someone like me, someone like me feels safe enough to just be authentic. Because the fact is um, this space that we share, this is the only place where I feel safe enough to do that. Mm-hmm. People are always like, "Oh, I would love to be your neighbor." You wouldn't see me outside. We wouldn't be having conversations, and we sure as hell wouldn't be talking about things I talk about on live streams. The best you're going to get is, "Hi, I gotta go inside. Gotta go inside. Bye." That's the best you're going to get from me in real life. That's the best. So it's important you guys know that you have the power to bring my power out, that you add to me. Everyone's like, "Oh, she's badass." Who said? Who said? I I don't know if you guys seen some doppelganger. I ain't no badass. I tell you that much. I tell you that much. I'm safe, is what I am. I'm safe with you guys. So it brings out the best of me that I always keep hidden away because those best parts are afraid of places that don't feel safe. Okay. So remember, if you have the power to empower me in that way, you have the power to do it for yourself too. You absolutely do. You absolutely do. So, all right, I'm going to get going, guys. Bye.